Parkside Cordless Combi-Shear. So this is the first review in series. Let's see what we get in the box. So in the box we are getting an instruction manual, probably in many different languages, with a couple of pictures. Is there anything interesting in it? I'm just interested in number 7. That is safety key, safety connector. Anyway, we have USB-C charging port because this device does not have a detachable battery. So when the battery dies, probably you will have to get a new one. Swivel arm. And what sort of tools are we getting with?
Well, let's see what parts are we getting in the box itself. So these are the scissors that are used for cutting let's say low quality grass, and these are the scissors that are supposed to be used on hedges and jobs that are a bit bigger and regarding thicker branches of the bushes that we are supposed to cut. Anyways, it seems to be fully operational. Back into the sleeve. Let's get back to the other ones, the small ones. They are supposed to trim grass and weed around your garden. And please do not expect from this very device to be a fully professional stuff that you would be using to do jobs in big gardens. It's a small device for small jobs. A bit of warning in the back, not to cut branches that are too thick. And we got a nice plastic box, a sleeve, plastic sleeve for the scissors, and we get a longer sleeve for the other one. They are both operating on the same principle, and they are greased, so they are pre-greased before you buy them. So that's why you are going to get the sleeves, and at the very end of the video you will see that they are getting dirty after each and every job. So these sleeves are quite handy if you want to store your device at home, not in a shed. I don't have a shed, so I will have to store it at home, so the sleeves are handy. You can see that this is the mechanism that is powering the scissors, both of them exactly the same. It rotates 360 degrees, it does not wobble forth and back. So you can see it here. I will try to start the instrument, and you can see that it's simply spinning. So it's a continuous spinning movement that is powering both scissors. And apart from that, you are going to be able to swivel the arm or the handle of the device. It does a job, but technically speaking, it's not a biggie. But it's nice to have it. Probably if you have a bigger garden than I do, because I have one of the micro gardens, because here in the UK and in Ireland, these things are quite small. And you get a USB-C power cable that is supposed to be used to charge the device. I highly recommend you charging the device before the first use. And as you can see in this very motion picture, the weather is quite challenging. So I did have to wait till I was able to cut some of the bushes, because I didn't want to do it in the very middle of a storm. So this is the micro garden that we have in the back of the house that we rent. And technically speaking, apart from cutting grass, we didn't really do much about the bushes and the plants that we have in the back of the house. So these are the videos of all the bushes and the plants before I did any sort of a job on them. And I did spend a good couple of minutes on trimming all of them, and I have to say that this device is capable of working for at least 30 minutes. It probably depends on how tough is the job that it is performing, but yeah, 30 minutes should be easy for these automatic scissors. And I decided to start with this very thing that I have no idea what's the name of that bush, but I decided to go into the Minecraft mode because that seems to be the easiest thing to do. So cut everything flat into a shape of a cube. And I of course did speed up the video 10 times so it won't be too boring. I did spend around 30 minutes on cutting all of the bushes that you can see in the video and hedges. And well, it was the first time ever I did any serious gardening job in my life. So this one, and as everything else in the garden, I tried to get as close to a flat surface or a cube as I could have. I think that if I was to do it manually without these electric scissors, it would be much more difficult, and it would take me much more time to get the exactly same effect. As you can see, the weather was challenging as well. We did have a bit of a wind and gaps with rain as well. So these are the effects of my hard manual labor on the first bush with these very electric scissors that I got from Lidl for about 20 quid, I think. And that's the second one. I have no idea what's the name of that plant, but I tried to get it as close to a cube as possible. And to be honest, I do use these scissors once per week just to keep everything more or less in the same shape all around the garden. And technically speaking, this is the plant that has quite some branches and these scissors work best. So if I was to do it manually, it would take me much more time. And as I said again, every week right now it takes me maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes just to do a bit of trimming, and everything seems to be looking exactly the same after just trimming it for a couple of minutes, so I don't have to do a big job as I did here. So now every Saturday, Sunday, depending on the weather, I do a bit of trim here and there, and this scissor seems to be working fine. We'll see how long will the battery last. You can ask me about that in the comments. And at the very end of the day, I just took out my Parkside. I have everything from Lidl, from Mr. Schwarzenegger right now. I took my Parkside lawnmower powered by one of the Parkside batteries just to clean everything in the garden. And let's have a look at the box just to top up the video, and let's have a look at the warnings that you will be getting on the box. And of course, don't give it to small kids, because they shouldn't be playing with this very device. It is sharp. It is a dangerous device if used in inappropriate manner. And the battery inside is lithium-ion, 4 volts, 4.2 volts probably, and 2 amp hours. So that would be 8 watt hours. And it is capable of working for around 30 minutes without any problems. And let's have a look at the blades again, even though I didn't really use the small blade for cutting the grass. In this very video, I did use it to cut out some of the weeds in the garden, and it seems to be working fine as the other one. I do believe that at certain stage, after a while, depending on how much manual labor you perform with these electric scissors, you will have to grease them again, because they do need to be greased to work properly. First of all, not to heat up, and secondly, not to use your battery too much, because any sort of friction would make the battery life much shorter. And in the back of these small scissors there is instruction manual in the back not to cut thick branches, because they are not capable of doing that. So small weeds in the garden, yes, they will do that, no problem, and some grass. While the other one is capable of cutting small branches and sticks. So this is my favorite one at this moment. And as you can see, there is a bit of grass and weeds left over on these from these very knives. As I told you before, that's why we are getting the sleeves in the box, and they are quite handy because they will keep the machine oil and grass and leaves contained within the sleeves. So that's quite a good idea. And for the time being, I do have this device at home for about 3 weeks. And after one big job, as I said, I'm using it for 5, maybe 10 minutes weekly to do small jobs around the garden. Seems to be working without any problems so far. And I think that at certain stage, I will have to sharpen both of the knives and for them to be still sharp and cut through everything as they should. But I don't really think that in my case it will happen anytime sooner than in about a year, because for the time being they do the job, they work perfectly fine for the price, and that's a cheap device. Just let's have a final look at the quality. I do like Parkside quality, and I do like the green color comparing to the bluish yellowish stuff that you can get in Aldi. These devices seem to be made really well in for Lidl by Parkside. The only problem is that if you buy a lawnmower, for example, or a drill, there's a problem with getting batteries for them, especially the big ones. The small ones are available from time to time, but the big ones you can't really get. So that is a problem, and I don't know why Lidl cannot provide them properly. They say, oh, you can always get them from the supplier, but at the supplier, if I wanted some of the batteries to get posted, they would be probably like 50 or 60 or maybe 70 quid each, so that's too expensive. And I think that Lidl should do better job providing batteries for all the electro tools that you can get in Lidl. One more thing, there's a safety pin in the handle, so you will have to use this safety pin before you start your manual labor with this very garden scissors. And this is the USB charging port above it. And as I said before, more or less that's it. I am happy with the price of the device and the functionality of it so far. We'll see how long will it last. So it is very good if you're watching these videos like in 2028 or 2030. If we are still here, to ask me questions in the comments, and I will be more than happy to give you the answer and the life expectancy of this device. As far as I understand, there should be at least 2-year warranty on all the electro tools in European Union. I don't know how it looks if it is Lidl in the United States or Canada. If you do you have Lidls in Canada and States? And there are some warnings on a sticker on the device as well. So, well, I hope that if you're watching this video, you're capable of using this very gardening tool. So, well, what can I say? That's it.